Hello, little lanterns, and welcome back to Phantom FM. We missed a frequency last week, so I've got a little bit of catching up to do. It's been a busy couple of weeks, both in and out of game, but we're back on the air, so let's tune in. Before 12.1 dropped, I spent some time catching up on things. I did some questing, got roped into even more questing with Demonic, and pushed my delves up to 8. And after all my bouncing around between my healers lately, I finally made a decision. The priest won. It's the OG tune. I don't know why I keep pretending that I'm going to escape it. So, I started getting some dungeon practice in as Disc and worked my way through the Mythic Zeros. Ruby Life Pools, fine. Murder Row, also surprisingly fine. Temple, not fine. I'm getting more comfortable with Disc and dungeons, but I definitely wouldn't say it's the easiest yet. Somewhere in all this, we also tried one of the new layers, and honestly, it was kind of chaotic. I'm not even sure I completely knew what was happening half the time, but we got through it. I definitely need to do a few more before I decide how I actually feel about them. Then reset hit. I did some more questing and delves, but nothing particularly exciting happened there. What was exciting happened outside of WoW. I got a new job, which means I'm finally getting off the night shift. And that means I can raid again. I'm going back to raid with an old guild I used to raid with, which I'm really excited about. There's just one problem. They don't have a healer spot open. So after finally deciding that Priest won, I now have to learn the other side of Priest. We're going Shadow. I started doing some research, learning the spec, and eventually queued up for my first key as DPS. But obviously, I couldn't do that immediately. I had to change my transmog first. There are standards. I ended up doing an 8 with the guild I'll be raiding with again, with Demonic there too. It was rough, but they told me I did well, and I decided not to question it. After that, I started running more keys, including plenty of pugging. And holy crap, does it take forever to get people. Eventually, I started logging my runs because I wanted to see how I was actually doing on Shadow. And that was a mistake. My numbers were not great. AoE damage is starting to come together, but my single target damage has been rough. I don't have my set bonuses yet, and Demonic thinks it's a lot to do with my gear. But I wasn't convinced. So I sat down, I started looking at what I was actually doing, and I think I have found at least one of my problems. ABC. Always be casting. Turns out I'm not. Enough. I'm leaving too much downtime where I could be casting something which is a pretty significant problem when my one job is to do damage. So that's the next thing I'm working on. I kept running keys after that. Some nights went better than others, and there was definitely one night where I was not in the greatest mood. But despite all the struggling, logging, researching, and wondering what the hell I'm doing, I did enough keys to earn Midnight Keystone Conqueror Season 2. I also did end up making the 2K IO. So, we're getting somewhere. Slowly. And WoW News is going to be a quick one this week. There's a new Twitch drop available, the Sorcerer's Grassy Garb. You can earn it by watching eligible World of Warcraft streams on Twitch while the drop is active. And that's all I've got for WoW News this week. Nothing else really jumped out at me enough that I wanted to sit here and pretend that I was excited about it, so short frequency this time. Let's head over to the night shift. Over on the spooky side of the frequency, I joined Nori for her 4 year streaming anniversary, which is actually kind of special because around the time Nori started streaming is also around the time we became friends. So we've known each other for about 4 years now, and naturally, the best way to celebrate that was with some Phasmophobia. And of course, we went to Sunny Meadows because nothing says 4 years of friendship like a haunted mental institution. This week's challenge was do as I command. We had all three evidence types available, extra equipment, and plenty of ways to annoy the ghost until it cooperated. Going into it, I thought finding evidence was going to be the difficult part. Really wasn't. Our first ghost was a Myling. We also got a Rev, then we got a Yuri, and this one decided to make its identity considerably easier for us because it used its ability right in my face. And then it did it again. At that point, okay, I get it. You're a Yuri. Overall, do as I command was actually pretty easy. I went into Sunny Meadows expecting considerably more suffering than we actually got. I'm not complaining. I'm just suspicious. And since our Yuri was kind enough to demonstrate exactly what makes it special, I think we know where we're headed next. Welcome back to Ghost Files. This week, we're looking at the Yuri. And this one gave me a pretty good reminder of what to watch for. Keep an eye on your doors. A Yuri has a unique ability where it can completely close a nearby door, draining sanity from players close to it when it does. So if you're investigating and you watch a door go from open to completely shut, pay attention. That could be your Yuri clue. And ours was nice enough to demonstrate it for me. Twice. Right in front of my face. So, this week's Ghost Files tip. If the ghost suddenly slams the door completely shut, keep your in mind. One clue, one more ghost for the files. Let's tune into another frequency. Before we wrap up, I did tune into another frequency this week. I finally played a little bit of Alan Wake. And when I say a little bit, I mean about 20 minutes. So we're definitely not reviewing it yet. But so far, it seems pretty good. I also decided pretty quickly that this was going to be a controller game for me. So I hooked one up and kept going. I haven't played nearly enough to know how I feel about it yet, but the first 20 minutes was enough to make me want to go back. So we'll see if Alan Wake makes another appearance on this frequency. Well, I think that's where we're going to leave things for this week. It feels good to be back after missing a frequency, and honestly, I'm just happy to be playing what I feel like playing and seeing where it takes me. I'm getting ready to raid again, relearning Shadow, staring at logs, discovering that I need to press more buttons, and somehow earning Keystone Conqueror and Master along the way. So we'll see what happens once I actually get into raid. And on the Phasmo side, I survived Sunny Meadows, celebrated 4 years of friendship with Nori, and got a very helpful demonstration of exactly what a Yuri can do. Twice. And Alan Week may have found itself a spot in the rotation too. I'd call that a pretty successful week. Thanks for tuning in, Little Lanterns.